So around 2 years ago today, I released a video titled, Why PlayStation is Better Than Xbox, which I would appreciate if you didn't watch. But one comment that I specifically remember was this one right here that said, Bro doing console wars in 2023. So much so that I even made it part of the thumbnail. Some other comments I remember were, the real console war started before you were ever born, and Halo was the deciding factor, laying low all the proud PlayStation fanboys. God of War? LOL. I was a God of War, disseminating lobby after lobby in Halo 2, while ultra-weeb nerd PlayStation dorks were playing Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. The difference between pizza, in your opinion, is that I ordered pizza. I'm a professional Xbox glazer. Even though being older now, I see how the console war was just really stupid, since just use whatever you prefer, but in my opinion, I don't understand how people can like the Xbox controller over the PlayStation controller, since it's very uncomfortable with one of the analog sticks being up rather than in a straight line, which is why I prefer the PlayStation controller as well as the rechargeable controller. I would rather my controller die in 10 minutes than have to use batteries. And I have found out that the PlayStation sold more PS5s than Xbox sold more Xboxes, so that basically confirms that the PS4 is better. To be honest, as a person who used all three platforms, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, at different points in time, I can say that all three have their strengths and weaknesses. I never believed in console wars, and I genuinely think that all of these consoles have great games, services, and value. I like Nintendo for the first-party titles and easy multiplayer for at least 2 people. I like Xbox for the controller that I find comfortable, and Xbox Live. And I like PlayStation also for the exclusives and the graphics. So in the end of the day, pick whichever one you want, play it, and have fun. There is never any reason to fight against the others, and we should all learn to respect each other's opinions. I think that's a W take personally. Well, I think Xbox is better, because, well, Game Pass, Xbox controller feels more comfortable to me, even tough. I have played on a PlayStation, like, the controller is good, but the Xbox feels better because of the format and the thumbstick's position, too. And, well, with Xbox controller, just buy rechargeable batteries, like a Duracell pack with 4 of them is so good. Like, one battery ran out, okay, but the other 2, but the old ones, it's the accent for to charge, and they last way longer than PlayStation, and well, I don't really care about PlayStation exclusives, so, again, the freaking accent, dude. So yeah, I respect PlayStation fans, but I'm an Xbox fan. Alright, I think you guys get the point. These comments all have one thing in common, and that's their disdain for console wars. And I'm gonna be 100% honest, I barely knew what that was when I uploaded the video. My thought process upon making it was that people like gaming content, and I slightly prefer PlayStation to Xbox, so I'll just make a video detailing why I think that. Which is why I think these comments are funny, because I would also be the type of guy to point this stuff out, because I myself am not really much of a competitive guy. Like, whenever people would talk about, like, Messi versus Ronaldo, I'd be like, well, aren't they both good people? You know, I never got the perspective of supremacy over what you like. If you like Pink Floyd, then that's great, but that doesn't mean you should dog on someone for liking Led Zeppelin. That's a bunch of malarkey, to be honest. I don't want my success to be another person's defeat, you know what I'm saying? Looking at it 2 years later, the scene has definitely changed. Microsoft is, for better or worse, actively not competing with Sony anymore, even publishing their games on Sony platforms, including the PlayStation 5. But like, even 2 years ago, Microsoft knew that they had lost, and I think even admitted to it. However, this doesn't in any conceivable way mean that Xbox is just done as a company. They still make profits. I mean, hell, it's Microsoft for crying out loud, and even announced a new Xbox handheld titled the Xbox Alley, retailing for $649.99. Microsoft, I swear to God. So yeah, this price point is obviously not ideal, especially the Xbox Alley X, which is going to be selling for over $1,000. Jesus, Harold Christ. I mean, I thought the PS5 Pro's price point was ridiculous, but $1,000 for a handheld? The PSP was sold for only $300. I know this is supposed to be super powerful or something, but if you're gonna pay that much, then just buy a PC. It can do everything this can do, and more. Look, I'm not gonna deny that this thing is pretty cool. If somebody on the street just threw this at me, I'd be pretty damn happy, don't get me wrong. It's just that I could buy a Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit reprint signed record display wood plaque for less than the Xbox Alley. I mean, Which would you guys rather have? It's kind of an obvious answer. But honestly, with this Xbox Ally system, Xbox Game Pass, as well as Xbox games being sold on other platforms, it's, unfortunately, looking more and more likely that Xbox will just quit making consoles. Now, look, I really, really hope that this isn't the case, but it might be. You know, they're making more profit now than they would in that scenario, I think, and are at this point kind of carrying the PS5. Well, I wouldn't say, like, independently carrying it, you know, but the PS5 has been seriously lacking good exclusives, you know? PS5 is still a great system, but compared to most, if not all, other PlayStation consoles, its game library is significantly lacking. And to give some words of wisdom here, not wisdom, optimism, the PS5 is selling alright now, but let me tell you that by the time GTA 6 releases, way more people will be buying both PS5s and Xbox Series X's just for the opportunity to play it. And will it end up being on the Nintendo Switch too? Probably not. And speaking of Nintendo, I think I should just address the obvious, and that Nintendo has pretty much won the console wars at this point, which I never thought I'd be saying, but here we are. I mean, no, I guess the Wii was a big success, but that was more of a gimmick, same with the DS. The Switch is also pretty gimmicky, but it has more staying power than those other two, as well as being much more powerful. Is it as powerful as the PS5 or Xbox Series X? Hell no. Well, you know, for a console it's type, especially one made by Nintendo, it's pretty good, I guess. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on this Nintendo topic, since I eventually plan to make an entire video about it, so I'll just bring up something that I thought was interesting. I was having a conversation with a friend where he said my original video was wrong. Well, why do you say that? It's just an opinion. It can't really be right or wrong. To which he responded, think about it. Which company has better values? And that made me think. Like, does a company's values really determine their worth? It's definitely an interesting discussion to have, and there are some really good arguments one could make for or against it. But the answer is no.